Let's move on to the AFC. I know how you feel about that. Let's go AFC South. How about that? Here, there's already a video about the Jaguars on the Dynasty Pylon. So go check them out. You guys getting real in depth with all their picks, which is good. But we'll start off with the Jags in the AFC South. What do you guys see? You have a list of their picks real quick. I need to have it more ready.
You want me to go for it? I got it right here.
Yeah, go for it if you have it ready.
So Trayvon Walker out of Georgia. Then they went with Devin Lloyd, also in the first round from Utah, linebacker. Then the third, they didn't have a second. They went third, Luke Fortner, center out of Kentucky. And then third round, again, Chad Muma, linebacker out of Wyoming. One of my personal favorites. He kind of reminds me of a cheaper version of TJ Watt. Just check him out. If any clips, you kind of be like, oh yeah, I can see that. Snoop Connor, running back out of Ole Miss in the 5th round. 6th round, Gregory Jr., cornerback, Oshita Baptist College, and then 7th round, Montarik Brown, corner out of Arkansas. Look, I like what they did. They had 2 first rounders. Definitely Devin Lloyd and is one of my favorite linebackers coming in. I think him and Chad Muma is going to be great pieces for Fuese Aloakon to teach. Fuese Aloakon, not everybody knows about him, but he was number 1 linebacker out of IDP leagues last season. But he was all over the place. He made tackles. I think he took two of them to the house. He forced fumbles.
He had to, though. There's no one else there.
Deion Jones was there, and he did just as good as him.
No.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But look, that's besides the point. We'll get to Atlanta here. But look, I think that they're moving Fuese Aloakon from the outside to the middle. He's going to be takeover. He's going to be that main linebacker. With Devin Lloyd and Chad Muma being there, that's three nasty linebackers. Chad Muma's a dog, man. He's quick and he'll get around that edge real easy. Trayvon Walker is going to assist on that. But I honestly think that they had a B, and I like what they did. I just hope that these mediocre, because they upgraded from trash to mediocre receivers. So maybe that offense will help be a little bit better, especially with that center. But I don't know. That's my grade, a B.
All right. I don't think you're giving Trayvon Walker his due.
No, because I know you would.
Yeah, because Trayvon Walker is not just an add-on. He is the best player they drafted. I don't know if he was good enough to be number 1 overall. I think he probably should have been like number 4 overall, but he's the best player they drafted. And he's going to be like, I think I could see him like Clowney, like a Jadeveon Clowney. Big boom, but could be a little bit of a bust because I don't think he's consistent enough. He's going to have seasons when he could have 12, 13, 14 sacks, but he also could have a season where he could have 4. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily put him at my number 1. I would have been a little bit safer, but he's still, when you're adding to that team, that's a good pick, and then I agree with you with Lloyd and Muma. And Fortner is, I'm going to say top 5, top 6 guard coming out this year. So that was a very interesting pick for me.
Was he center?
Center, I'm sorry. He was a guard center. I think he's going to be a center in the NFL.
I think so.
They rate him as an interior lineman. So I think he's going to be a center coming here, which is, I think is good. You need, as we just talked about, if they go into this 18-game season, you're going to need to have linemen out the wazoo. That's what's really what's going to have to happen. Overall, B+. I don't think any of their drafts are A's or like out of the park, knocking out of the park A's, but I believe all of them are pretty higher than a B, not quite an A.
Okay. So Martin, you said B as well, right?
I said B. Yeah.
You said B. Okay. Yeah, I'm
But
good there. So where would you
better than Cleveland? I think so.
Where would you put them here?
I like them more than the Bengals too, personally.
Man.
In between or in front?
It's
in
not
front of the
fair.
Browns.
You have a number
Front of
one
the
pick
Browns.
overall.
In front of the Browns.
I think it's in front of the Bengals.
It could be in front of the Bengals too, man. They had a really good draft. They just drafted for what they needed and what they did best.
I mean, they need to replace their center because what's his name? Linder. Didn't Linder retire?
Something like that. But I know he's getting there.
Yeah, so he's either old or he's gonna retire. So getting that too. Yeah, this is a good draft. Not great, but it's a good draft.
But if you look, if you want to go more in depth, and whoever's watching right now, if you really want to go in more in depth, I did a whole episode on Jaguars. It put it right there in the link. So whole episode on just Jags. So
So make sure you go check that out. But yeah, let's keep moving on.
Let's go to the Texans.
You want to do Texans? That's who I was gonna do. So let's move on to the Texans. So they got Stingley Jr., the third overall pick. Green, their 15th overall pick. Jalen, was it Petrie? How you pronounce his name?
Petrie.
I like
37th overall pick.
I like John Michie too. Damn it.
John Michie, Christian Harris, Pierce Booker, and Tegan who's that? Quintorino? Is it Quintorino? And one more. And then Austin
Toriano, I think, or something like that.
Quintoriano? Yeah, that sounds about right. And then Austin was it?
Cullis.
Some scrub that'll probably never sniff the field.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
He's a filler. He was a filler, roster filler. So main ones, Stingley, Green, Petrie, Michie. What do you guys think right off the bat?
A.
I mean, there's a team that needed everything. This team needed everything. So like nothing was a bad pick, like for them.
A.
I got a question for Martin, right? Just off the bat. Do you really feel like Stingley was a reach?
No. I mean, they probably could have gotten no.
For a team that
he was
needed
the
everything,
best corner coming in. No.
And you don't think Kyle Hamilton will serve them better?
I think they wanted to address the corner more than they did safety because they brought in Reed or they lost Reed, but they brought somebody else in who, as I can't think at the top of my head right now, who they brought somebody in for that spot. But even Hamilton could have been just as fine. And I still wouldn't think, because Hamilton, look, the NFL, 13 teams passed up on Hamilton for a reason. What is that reason? I don't know. But 13 teams said, I don't want Hamilton now. So which makes me see, what did Hamilton do during pro day or combine or something? There's something that they didn't like about him. We all thought he was going to be top 10.
I thought he
but
was top 5.
Clearly did not fall. And the Ravens probably were the smartest ones and picked them up that late. But no, I think Derek Stingley is going to be one of the best corners in the league.
I think Stingley's going to be not a match for Lovie Smith's defense. That's what I think.
But he's so talented, though.
But he's not. But like when you have a corner who's really not used to doing bump and cover like man all the time, and Stingley might be. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. And he's fast. And he has good hips, but he doesn't do bumping like man on him very well. He's not that type of quarterback. So when you're talking about Lovie Smith, and I know he's going to still run that Tampa too. That didn't match. It didn't make sense to me. Not that Stingley's a bad pick, but that why would you get a guy that doesn't fit your scheme? That didn't make sense. But Petrie does make sense in his defense. That safety definitely makes sense. But I just didn't understand what they're doing.
Good. Oh, okay. So where are you guys putting them then? What grade?
I say A.
I was going to go B minus. Yeah, because I
Hmm.
mean, John Michie, I think, will be a solid starter. Christian Harris, I like Christian Harris. I like that pick overall. Damien Pierce, I don't know why they got him.
Add another running back to that crew.
Yeah, it's why you throw seven running backs out there. I just don't know what the hell they're doing with that. I have too many questions for them. If I was giving them a B, it'd probably like a B behind the Browns. I think the Browns had a better draft.
The Browns had a better draft than the Texans.
Yeah.
No.
I think Stingley's just a reach. I think that your number one guy has to match, especially when you had other guys you could have gotten.
He's a shutdown. He's a shutdown corner, though.
Yeah.
That's one receiver that they don't have to worry about, and they're gonna put him on whoever that is.
But if your scheme doesn't match, it doesn't really matter. If you ask him to do something he doesn't like doing,
they can always change.
Lovie Smith's been in the NFL for 30 years. He has never changed.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say an A.
Know him. I know him. He's my college coach. Like, I mean, like in Illinois when I went, when I was an alumni, when I went there, and he did the same thing he did with the Bears. I saw it. He runs the same defense no matter what. It didn't make sense to me. That's all. Yeah.
And then just for other person, Sports Illustrated gave him a B, and NFL.com gave him a B as well. So
they should have got Ahmad Gardner.
So I don't know. I do like what they did a lot.
It's either A or B or a C for you, Tank. Because if you put them at a B, are they in front of the Jags?
They're not a C.
They're not.
Are they in front of the Jags or are they in front of the Bengals? Because I would put them behind the Ravens.
Yeah,
definitely behind the Ravens.
And they're definitely behind the Ravens. The Jags. They're behind the Jags.
You think they belong here behind the Jags?
No, man, no.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
The Jags had a better draft. It's not, and I'm telling you, you're gonna see Gardner should have been their guy. That's what we're going to find out.
As of right now,
Kenyon Green is a reach, whatever, but that's a reach.
Green. Anyway, I mean, they're all starters. I mean, theoretically, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even Harris is probably a starter.
They could be starters, but they're going to the Texans in that defense. I'm telling you, the Tampa 2 is going to ruin two of these guys.
You think so? Yeah,
because I don't think the Tampa 2 can work in this NFL anymore. Honestly,
no. Everything runs its course. You know what I mean? Like the West Coast offense, it ran its course. People figured it out. Same with the defenses. I mean, I don't know. Things got tweaked, and Lovey doesn't tweak shit.
What saved Lovey even in Chicago was Brian Urlacher is really a safety playing linebacker. He was that fast, that gifted with the ball, that gifted against those things. That's what saved him in NFL. But anytime anyone else tries to run this Tampa 2, it doesn't work because you have to have the most amazing linebacker.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this one to Martin. I'm gonna probably put it at an A for now, just because the talent is so good.
I don't know the talent's
I get trying to like fit in, but I don't know.
Lovie Smith is only going to be there for one season only.
Probably
next season this guy's going to change. They're going to give it to somebody else.
They can't do it again because they just did it one season, so he has to be there for 2 years. They just did it. They can't do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem. They can't.
Yeah. Houston. Well, didn't Houston want to get was it McNown or whoever, like who's never been a coach ever? So that tells you where their mindset's at.
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll leave it there. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But for me, it's either right here or right here. I mean, it's kind of like the A- B+ area. So we'll leave it at A+ because I don't think we're gonna have a lot of A's. I think we're gonna have a lot of B's, a lot of C's. But we'll leave it there.
I mean, like when we get to the Jets, I think the Jets are going to be an A. Like, I mean,
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll get to that. But let's keep it going though. We'll do the
Tennessee.
Colts.
Oh, Colts. Okay.
We'll do Colts first. I just had it and I got rid of it.
Alex Pierce, wide receiver,
there you go.
Cincinnati. Jelani Woods, tight end, Virginia. So these with Jelani Woods and these other two were all in the third round. Bierman Raymond, offensive tackle at Central Michigan, and then Nick Cross, safety out of Maryland, all in the third round. They did not have a fourth, and then they went with Eric Johnson, defensive tackle, Missouri State. 2 6-rounders, Andrew Ogletree, tight end, Youngstown State, and then Curtis Brooks, defensive tackle, Cincinnati, and then they finished it off with Rodney Thomas, safety out of Yale. So, not too bad.
That's okay, Trey.
Yeah, I feel like it was a C. The only thing they lacked is maybe a pass rush. They didn't. Curtis Brooks and Eric Johnson. I don't think Curtis Brooks even if he gets on the field, but Eric Johnson may or may not get himself some reps. But it's going to be tough. I like Alex Pierce. That dude is a really good fit for Matt Ryan. Opposite side of Michael Pittman. You now have like Matt Ryan is going to be that sneaky. I would not be surprised if he puts himself back in top 10 talks again. And this might be crazy, but I think that Matt Ryan will be top 10. He has 3 huge targets: Mo Alley-Cox, Michael Pittman, and Alex Pierce. Alex Pierce is 6'3". That's his smallest target. And we all know Jonathan Taylor. Like that's just too easy. Like I enough said. I don't even have to talk about Jonathan Taylor because we already know Matt Ryan is going to have as long as these guys are healthy, of course. Outside of that. But yeah, I think that these guys with this draft overall, I put them at a C. But again, because they didn't address much at the pass rush, they got Nick Cross, which I like.
Also, the interior lineman.
And Raymond. Raymond's going to help out with that tackle.
No, I like Bernard Raymond as an offensive tackle. It's good. I worry about their guard situation, because they need to replace one, and they didn't. And that's throughout the rest of their roster, they're going to have to do something in their interior line. That's going to be something. I like what they did, tight end and wide receiver, but they had more holes, and I don't understand what they were thinking about. I don't like Brooks is undersized defensive tackle, so that doesn't really help your line. I agree. They're C.
Yeah,
I agree.
I thought it was good.
Not having that first really killed.
Yeah, that Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I was gonna say Carson Wentz.
You should get a D. They should get a D just because of Carson Wentz. Just because of that.
Yeah. And then one thing I thought was weird. So NFL.com gave him a C, kind of agreed with everything you guys just said. Sports Illustrated gave him an A, which is I'm like,
wow.
What? That's such a huge difference. And there's very few of those like going around, but that one's like a giant.
But I think that's them not thinking about what's going on with
the big picture.
Yeah, losing the first round because of Carson Wentz that you then released or traded for a third rounder. I'm sorry, just didn't make any sense. So like that was a terrible trade in at the end, and losing the first rounder because of that sucks. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I like C. So let's finish up this division with the Titans. So they got Burks, McCreary, Nicholas Petit-Frere, Malik Willis at 86. What the hell? Hassan Haskins. I'm a murder this guy's name. Okono Uo from Maryland, tight end. Phillips, Jackson, Campbell. So
I love their draft. Forget the Texans. This is the A draft. That's an A draft. That makes sense. Everything they did made sense. All of them.
Yeah. And I don't even think I have to Ask. I think right there, right? Not
They're not
above
Baltimore yet, but
and they're
they
above.
could be, because if Malik Willis becomes their franchise quarterback, this would be one of the best drafts that will go down in history for Tennessee Titans.
For Tennessee, getting
And
so
I don't think he plays this season though.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he does, but
I don't think
T. Freer from Ohio State, I think is I don't know how you feel. He was the number one offensive tackle 3 years ago coming out of high school, right? I believe that's what it was. I like McCreary. Malik Willis, if he's your starting quarterback, I mean, you might have gotten 4 or 5 starters from this draft. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not starters, stars. Like you get some stars out of this draft. So I mean, this is a good
think
draft.
Haskins is going to be pretty good. You know, like somebody who could.
I'm glad you brought him up.
Yeah, somebody who could take the I don't want to say take the load off of McHenry or McHenry. Oh my God, Derrick Henry. But
take carries away from him. Like he's
making
good.
But that's not the worst thing. It's
Hey,
how about you don't play every single down and get destroyed every single down and let Haskins kind of carry some of the weight for you, buddy. You know? Because then they wouldn't run into the issue that they had in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know,
Henry is obviously the king still. He's going to be the best back this season, but that might slow down and it might be done in 2 seasons.
You know, I think that, Martin. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I think it's going to slow down. But Hassan Haskins, I think he's like an inch or 2 shorter height wise.
But he's
just as big as him. And I think if Derrick Henry has to mentor anybody, this other big guy, like they got 2 freaking silverbacks back there, man. They just like, here's the ball, go. Yeah. So
teams are not going to want to tackle him, and then telling you Malik Willis with that in the offensive tackle. I like Roger McCreary. I like Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks could be one of the best wide receivers of this draft too.
You cannot argue with that.
You lose AJ Brown, you bring AJ Brown light in. So it just doesn't even make sense. I mean,
they like big guys.
But this is a great draft. That everything made sense with the way they're doing. You know, it fits. Everything fits what they do, and these guys are good. This is why I say that's an A.
Yeah, I remember. So I was out on vacation, so I didn't get to watch it, and I would tune in every so often and see what's going on. And then I got a notification that Malik Willis was drafted. I was like, I thought I missed it somewhere. I'm like, there's no way he went this far down. And just that alone, I think is like wins a big, I don't say probably, it comes close to winning the draft with getting Malik Willis that low. And I'm like, what's wrong with him? One thing where, you know, like he's 86 overall, but also it's like, I think he's good enough. So I don't know.
Unbelievable arm and sitting behind Tannehill. It doesn't matter if Tannehill does anything with him. The coaching staff is going to train him.
Yeah.
You know, and this is perfect position for him to be in. And a winning team. You're not going to be in the losing team. You don't lose. You're not going to be in a losing culture type of team. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a good fit. It's going to be really good. That it? Yeah, that's it for the AFC South.